How's it going, guys? Just hanging out by the water. Um, I would just like to make a video adding on to the video that Darren made. Like I said, adding on. The video was never intended, I'm sure, to be a list of people in the garage, but I'd like to add a couple of people that I would like to see mentioned. Of course, not as many people are going to see my video. But like I said, I'd like to add a couple of names, and I think they're still key players in the garage. So, and for good reasons, because I was told, I'm there not from the beginning, but very close to the beginning. I was on the first shirt. And I asked what the criteria was to be a Garage Gang member. And I could have sworn the criteria was just to be not an asshole, which I've always used as the line in the sand as I judged people in the garage, if you want to word it like that, whether I wanted to deal with them or didn't want to deal with them. So I don't really like to deal with people like that. And I'm going to name off a short list of people that I think fit that criteria to a T. Now, like every group, this isn't the only group I'm involved in. There's always going to be people that don't get along with other people. That's just the way it is. For different reasons. They don't like their hair, you don't like their attitude, you don't like their wife, whatever it might be. You know what I mean? You're never going to have everybody agree. Even if it was a small group of 5, someone's going to disagree. But I want to add this. I'm going to add these people to the list. Okay, the first person I'm going to add to the list, and this is important because I was in the Garage Gang before this happened, but the thing that really cemented what the Garage Gang was all about has to do with my son. So you got Little Guy's Garage. Okay, he's the first person I'm going to mention. He was the first person. Now, I'm not sure if it happened to anybody else before or anything happened to anybody else before. I don't really recall. But when my son had a situation, which is, I guess, about 3.5 years ago now, whatever it was, I remember contacting Darren and Ruben to let them know what was going on. And I know Darren made a video announcing to the Garage Gang, that my son had a problem, whatever it was, blah, blah, blah. But what I didn't expect was, I didn't expect the mailbox to keep filling up with presents and gifts from around the world. Okay, and I made those videos of him opening them, the original mail calls and all that stuff like that, and how happy it made him. And some of those people I don't see videos from anymore. I'll give you an example. The Chef Tuss. I didn't know of his videos until he sent me a gift. So he sent me a gift not even knowing who I was, and then that's when I started to watch him. And what's sad to say is that gift got lost up until about a month and a half ago. It got misplaced, and he had sent my son a chef's apron and a hat. And it got misplaced, and it really bothered my son, and they finally found it. So you can look forward to seeing videos this summer of him finally wearing it. So then, of course, you got... Now, there's no specific order to these names. I'm just going to say a name and say something real quick about him, or else it'll be a 2-hour video. And, of course, you got VW Rich. We worked side by side for 9 years. There is no words for Rich. Rich tolerated me for 9 years, and Rich came to my aid when times were bad. And you got Ruben, the Rubester, Ruben 66. Now, all the people I'm naming so far are these people that I deal with on a daily basis, talk to, met, hung out with. And you know that what you see is what you got. It's not an act. Okay? And Ruben, to this day, you still blew me away with 2 things. One, I didn't realize you were scared shitless to come for a ride in the Concord with me. I found that out after. I still giggle about that. And 2, he blew me away when he handed my son that guitar that had some special meaning to Ruben. And he passed it to my son for the same exact reason. And one of these days, my son's going to pass it on, because my son doesn't really play it anymore. He has no need for it. So that's going to get handed down one of these days when my son feels the time is right and he finds the right person. So that's something that's going to go on forever. Then you got you Dizzy. Now, you Dizzy, I use it Dizzy as an example a lot around work. Believe it or not, I won't say why and how and whatever. And I do talk about him a lot too. And I've gone to certain people this past week and talked about you Dizzy, and they gave me some items to give you Dizzy, which there will be a mail call. I'm going to do everything probably later in the week. I got 3 mail calls to go out. So you Dizzy, look forward to that stuff. Then you got Tom Noble. Okay. Tom Noble's just an all-around good guy. He has any extra stuff, he sends it out. We've talked about Tom before. He's just an average guy, not meaning you're average, but an average guy doing the job in his garage, telling you the pitfalls on stuff that should fit and doesn't fit. That it technically, you shouldn't have to be a metal fabricator to get a part that's supposed to fit. And he calls the people out. He has no problem saying it. Now talking about metal fabrication, you got Scott Best. Holy crap. How his name doesn't get mentioned more often is unbelievable. Talk about taking a piece of tin and forming it from nothing to something and making it fit. So we haven't seen a couple of videos from him lately. Hopefully we see more. Then you got Sadell Wendell. I only have one word for him, and anybody that I ask to watch his channel is just one word: professional. He's professional through and through. That's all I gotta say. He's professional. That's the way you run a business. That's the way you come off to a potential customer as a professional. When you turn the camera off, you can do whatever the hell you want. But when that camera's on, you are selling yourself. And he's selling himself as a professional. He doesn't talk down to anybody. He doesn't advertise any products. He just shows you what he does, and he shows you the outcome. And he'll explain to you, this is what the customer wants. It always seems like he goes further than what the customer wants, without a doubt. And that's someone that cares, and that's someone that's a professional. And no, I didn't leave out Street Router 100. Of course I didn't. I guess I'm just going in size order. Or working my way across the coast. Yeah, I feel some connection to Street Router 100, Kenny. Or Street Router Files. I'm not really sure what your name is this week. Mr. Mobile Scooter. Holy shit. That does 80. I saw that on the speedometer. I was like, why don't they just stop the speedometer at 40? Why does it have to go 50, 60, 70, and 80 in red? Okay, now I'm past that. But, yeah, I feel some kind of connection for 2 reasons. For some of the problems that he suffers with, and that he's originally from here. And he never lets you forget that he's originally from New York or the island. So, and of course we got Cutworm 59. I started watching him in the Crosley days, and then all of a sudden the Crosleys disappeared and the Triumphs appeared. And I was wondering why the Crosleys got bigger until he said it was a Triumph. I thought they made bigger Crosleys. What the hell do I know? I don't know anything about either one of those cars. And now the Triumphs got rounder. So, and I will say, Cutworm 59 holds the record now for sending out the biggest mail call when he sent us that 401 engine. So I don't think anybody's going to top that unless they ship a car. And like I said, these are some of the people that I would have loved to seen added to the list. These are key players that are in the game every single day, and some of them are professionals, some of them aren't. Okay, you know, when I think back to the earlier days when you talk about people learning, the one video that'll always pop into my mind was the day that Ruben got that snowblower going. After he fucked with that carburetor over and over and over to the point where he wanted me to come there, and I convinced him that he could do it. And you can convince somebody of anything. It takes the person to be able to do it. You know what I mean? You could reach deep into somebody and convince them, then they still can't do it. But it takes, like I said, and the excitement that came out of his voice that day that snowblower started. to this day still makes me smile. So, and I've been there. I haven't seen the car finished. I'm trying to get up there. Like I said, this summer I'm going to definitely try and get up there. I've been trying to get up there. I haven't seen it finished, but I did see it when a lot of the body work was done, as you guys know, after he hung the quarter panel. I mean, how many people do you know that one day don't know what a dipstick is, 2 days later they're hanging a quarter panel? And it fit. So, we got to get Ruben back out here on the internet. I know why he's not, but it has nothing to do with the garage gang or nothing like that. It's all personal stuff. We got to get him back out into the game. He needs to be. So, and I mean, I guess that's about it. So, I mean, there's pros and cons to everything. Is it a click? I mean, that's been mentioned for 3-4 years now. Yes and no. Everything is a click in a way. Talk about video hits. I'm proud to say that one of my biggest videos on views is close to 300,000 views, and there was no drama, no excitement, and no cursing in it. Got interrupted by the phone. Now I'm finishing this up later. And 2 more people I'd like to mention on the list is, you got Ziggy, of course. I think I've gained 20 pounds just watching the bullshit by the barbecue, and I've learned about Holdens. Obviously, I've seen them, but I didn't know much about them, and I appreciate him walking us through everything and driving on the wrong side of the road, of course. And then you got Musty One. Can't leave Musty One out of it. You're talking about a guy that can make shit out of nothing. Okay, he just got piles of shit just to pick through and make whatever he wants. So he's got one active imagination, and I'll leave it at that. So, and it all comes out nice and works. So I think he has a little more patience than I have. So with that, guys, that's my list of people that I'd like to see, brought to light. Like I said, I know it was never a list in the beginning, and it's not like anybody was left off. It's just, and since some people were mentioned, I'd like to make sure other people are mentioned. And that's it, guys. Call it a day.